What's good, YouTube? It's a Chris Leviathan Prophecy, and um, the NFL needs to do something about these ties. It's like if you look across the sports world, like you have baseball. Baseball have no ties. You have basketball. Basketball have no ties. You have hockey. Hockey have no effing ties. Like, what's the reason for tie? Is it for like tiebreakers or whatever? Because there's wins, losses, and ties. I'm thinking ties are like freaking like for tiebreakers. That's what I thought ties were for when I first got into football. But my cousin said, nah, ties are like, if you go the first four quarters without scoring, and it's like, tied at 6-6 or 12-12, and then you go to overtime, and then if you still haven't scored, then obviously it's going to consider a tie. But back then, we had something called sudden death. So where teams tie and we go to overtime and there's still no winner, we go to sudden death. They don't have sudden death no more in the NFL. So why don't the NFL do what college football does? They score until they effing have a winner. I'm not telling y'all to drive down the field to score. Y'all could start at the 25. Or y'all could start at your own goal line. Like, look at how college football overtime works. And look at how the NFL overtime works. Stupid. Nobody wants ties. Ties are dumb. But anyways, man, the Giants and the Washington football team tied. For four quarters, they went back and forth. Giants had a chance to win the game. Washington Commanders had a chance to win the game. Neither team seemed like they wanted it. I mean, that huge sack by, Kayvon Thibodeau should have iced the game, but obviously Tyler didn't fumble, or I thought it was a safety at first, but he somehow got out the end zone in time, and he got sacked. And it was just a whole bunch of. So the Giants tie. They're still 7-4. No, they're still 7-5-1 now, and the Washington Commanders are 7-4-1. So the Giants are going to Philly next week. Well, not next week, but next Sunday. And we're probably going to lose that game because I don't see that game going in the ties either. And then my Knicks play at 6. So, oh man, the NFL really needs to get into this overtime shit. Like, it's crazy how the NFL can fix the playoff overtime, but they can't fix the regular season overtime. Now obviously, like I said, each team had their own chance of winning the game, but ties doesn't do anything. Why is there ties in the NFL? Somebody please explain to me, what's the reason for ties in the NFL? I mean, I remember around 2000, there was something called sudden death. They don't even have that no more. I mean, ties that like. I mean, like imagine a team. Like imagine a team going ties every single day. Now, obviously, there's supposed to be a winner and a loser, but I don't understand the reason behind ties. Like I said, soccer doesn't have ties. Baseball doesn't have ties. Basketball doesn't have ties. Hockey doesn't have ties. The NFL is the only sport that have ties. I don't know why. Well, not really. College football have ties too, but you rarely see ties in college football. So, I mean, I don't think the NFL will ever fix it. The NFL should be wins and losses, not effing ties. Like we spent we spent 3 hours watching a meaningless game. To be honest with you. Now, like I said, if it's a betting, if it was betting wise, then you got your money. If you bet it on the Giants to cover the spread, you got your money. If you bet on Washington, you lost. If you went over, you won. You know, because if it was like 13-13, you would have picked the under. But since they went over 20-20, obviously, because in my head I knew a tie was coming. I knew a tie was going to come. In my mind, it's like the Washington is playing too good. The Giants, they're up and down. So you would expect the Giants and the Commanders to tie. So now we got the Eagles coming up. We're probably going to lose that game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We're going to lose that game. And then we go back to Washington, and then we're probably going to lose that game. So that's going to have us at 7-6, 7-7. Now we're 7-5, 7-6, 7-7. Yeah, so we're gonna be 7-7. And then after that, we got the Vikings and then the Colts, and then we finish the season off against the Eagles, which I think they'll probably have their whole squad sitting out. So they're probably gonna be backups playing and stuff. So we're probably gonna finish this season 8-7-1. And we'll probably miss the playoffs because of the tiebreakers. So, in order for us to make the playoffs, we would have to win out. We would have to beat Eagles twice. We would have to beat the Redskins at home, beat the Colts, beat the Vikings, and then beat the Eagles again. So the only win I'll probably say we'll probably have is against the Colts. Now, I did say before the season started, I did say the Giants was going to go 9-8 and make the playoffs and get bounced out in the first round because their offense is not good. I don't know why Giants fans consistently come on here and think that we're good. We're not good. We don't have receivers. I'll piggyback on that. We don't have household name receivers. We don't have consistent receivers. We have a defense that's in shambles. We don't play from behind very well. As you can see, we were down 10-0. Should have been 17-0. But obviously the Giants defense pulled through too many times and they just got fatigued at the end. Too many big plays. Just, and then on top of that, it felt like neither team wanted it. I mean, Washington had a chance to drive down the field late, kick a field goal, make the Giants go all the way and try to score. That didn't happen. I mean, the Commanders were playing very well. They was running the ball. For some odd reason, they got away from that. Just run the ball. The Giants can't stop. It's the same formula from it was the same dilemma from the Falcons and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The Falcons was no, the Patriots was having massive trouble stopping the running game from the Falcons. What did the Falcons do? They retreated. They went back to freaking throwing the ball. Even though they had Julio Jones at the time, but still, what works, works. If the running game is successful, don't go away from that. And I think that's what the Washington Commanders did. They were chewing the Giants' ass up in the running game. They go back to freaking throwing the ball. Throwing the ball, throwing the ball, throwing the ball. They had some big plays here and there, but what got them going was the running game, and they got away from that. So, so the Giants got a tie. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.